On this episode, I'm going to talk about the excuses and challenges of why I don't do things, or am I in a mode of like, I'm doing it in spite of, and who cares, like, get it done. And I've had that awareness around my podcast, where when I'm in a space of fear and I'm kind of closed up from the stream of consciousness, what will stop me from recording?
You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Mischa Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
Yeah, it's interesting. As creators, as experts, as heart-centered entrepreneurs, as we're trying to build our businesses and help the world and get our heart-centered messages out to the world. It's so interesting what can blindside me and stop me from putting my message out or creating things in regards to the business or the challenges that come along or distractions. And it's interesting, I talked about this in the past few episodes, but I was finding new alignment forward I was like, one of the motivations for me, putting myself out there and trying to build and serve and all that was, in a way, trying to prove something to somebody else, consciously or subconsciously, in hopes of garnering attention. Oh my God, it's all around an ex-girlfriend. Anyway, so funny. Listen to those episodes. I think they're up. I don't know what they're called or what the titles are or the numbers are. I'm supposed to know this so I can refer you to it. Like, that's what the good podcasters do, right? They're like, oh yes, if you want to hear me talk about how I do this, it's episode number blah, blah, blah. And they refer you to it. So they're a few episodes ago. Check them out. Do a little work. Look at the titles and you'll find them. I've been trying to find, or waiting for, that's a better thing. At first I was like, I need the new direction forward to fill that gap as far as publishing is concerned. Like, the work stuff's all happening. I'm creating my offer, creating my Mifki, what's called the most incredible free gift ever. That's the thing that we create to entice people to try our memberships, our continuity programs. Continuity is kind of like saying somebody pays you monthly for your program. And, Apple TV is continuity. I said Apple TV Plus, whatever it is, whatever you pay for the Apple TV. Netflix is continuity. Dollar Shave Club is continuity. Lots of coaching programs are monthly continuity. A lot of people are rolling their courses to continuity, to monthly subscription-based. And in the space I'm in Russell Brunson land, he likes to call the offer to entice somebody to try your continuity. My continuity is the Influence Army membership, family, community, where you pay monthly and I teach you how to guest speak on podcasts, how to go on an influence tour. And currently that's guest speak on podcasts. Content that's coming further is going to be how to partner with people to promote your things, like do list shares, how to, I've created master class. I'm creating a master class. I've also got a ton of content that I can teach on, is to go teach to other people's audiences. So that's all coming. But anyway, I want you to test drive the Influence Army. The Influence Army membership. So I create what's called the most incredible free gift ever. And which is like, hey, here's a discounted month one price with all these goodies and free things and fun things and my Bad Zuck t-shirt, and you get month one super discounted price. So it's basically no risk. Like you get all this cool stuff. You will get access to my Get Ready stage courses. Get ready to guest speak on 50 podcasts in 100 days. Turns out there's a bunch of foundational, upfront, get ready work that you need to do. But you'll get all that. And the Bad Zuck t-shirt. All for $27. Just for test driving my Influence Army membership. Anyway, what a great tangent that was. Where was I? What was I talking about? I'll tell you why I got distracted. Russell Brunson says, I'm in his coaching. I pay the man. I pay his company money. And I listen to his coaches. And one of the things he talks about is start talking about what you're creating. So you're creating interest and excitement, and you're building pressure for your offer. So I'm building my offer. It's going to be coming to market soon. So I need to start talking about it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to do what Russell Brunson says. So you can blame him for this tangent. Anyhow, the distractions to getting things done. It's really what I'm trying to talk about here. So I notice that when I'm laced with insecurity or full of insecurity and fear and doubt and concern and regret, oh my God, all the things that can happen on the entrepreneurial journey, the little distractions that stop me from doing things versus the distractions almost become a challenge to be like, I'm doing it anyway, or I can blow right by this or move around this, or this is not a big deal. And it's not a big deal. So for example, in the podcasting, as I was having insecurity and trying to find new footing forward, finding that new pull forward, it's like, there's too much noise when I walk. I can't record. There's too much wind. There's too many distractions. There's too many people. Versus when I'm in that creator mode, I'm like, who cares? So it's noisy. Big deal. A train's going by. Let people hear the train. There's traffic. I'm sure you can hear the freeway in the background. That's part of where I live, Encinitas, California. The 5 freeway by where I live, you can see the ocean. Just means that I am super close to the ocean. When you hear this noise in the background, just know that Mischa is walking by the ocean and he can smell the salt water. Yes, and he can feel the ocean breeze. Oh my gosh, or when the train goes by. It's so funny. Like the prime real estate, there's a freeway. The prime real estate, there's trains. Oh my gosh. There is Rancho Santa Fe, which is just east a little bit, not that far, but that's the bigger properties that are more secluded and super quiet. And there are actually some very quiet little pockets of houses right on the coast. My little house, my little beach shack, my 1,000 square foot house is actually in a very, very quiet neighborhood, relatively speaking. And people kind of freak out because they're like, oh my God, it's so peaceful, serene, and quiet here. This space I've created. And it is. It's kind of crazy. Anyhow, so just think about that. When you're hearing the noise, when you're hearing the birds chirping, when you're hearing the cars go by, just visualize the Pacific Ocean with the waves rolling in, the surf crashing, the sun shining. Okay, enough about that, but you get it. I'm currently obviously in the mode of like, my gosh, I just walked through at this time in the morning, there's spider webs everywhere. Just walked through this big spider web. Hope I didn't attach a spider. Anyway, wow. So when you're in that mode, like I am right now, it's like just let it rip, go for it, trust in God. I am not for everybody, clearly. I will be distracted, go on tangents, very riff-oriented on the podcast. Many podcasts are not very structured. They are. Oh, and they're awesome. Like, I've been listening to Colin Boyd's podcast a ton. Colin Boyd's, what's it called? It's COLIN or COLLIN BOYD. He's an Australian guy, so he's got a great accent. I can't remember the name of his podcast, but if you just go to your favorite podcast app and put in Colin Boyd, something about coaching, the title, I think, anyway. He is super structured, and his episodes are great. I'm like, I could aspire to that. I could have super structured, value-packed episodes one day. That's another thing. When I'm in the creator space and I'm all in it and just throwing caution to the wind and trusting my path, I'm like, heck yeah, Colin Boyd's podcast is awesome. I could work towards that one day. Versus when I'm not in the creator space and I'm looking for excuses, that would throw me off the rails. I'd be like, I hate Colin Boyd and I can never have a podcast like his and I'm failing, so I'm not doing my podcast today, right? And that could be subconscious too. That doesn't even need to be conscious awareness. It could be just subconscious or just slightly below conscious. Like, I'm not even aware. Well, I'm aware that I'm triggered, but I'm not aware that that's a lie. I'm very aware these days of that battle. Of like, oh my God, I am being so triggered right now by someone else's success in compare mode. That dump truck was a little loud. I do have concern for you. I apologize. I'm in a heavy traffic area. It's 7:08 a.m. and Encinitas is coming to life. And there's lots of construction in this little part of town I'm walking right now. But can I persevere? Can I push through that? Can I get back to the space of in the flow, in the zone where the sweeping street sweeper doesn't stop me from recording an episode? All right, I made it through the death zone. It's one of those roundabouts in Encinitas. Oh my God, people not paying attention, cars everywhere, street sweepers, dump trucks, people not looking, blowing through the roundabout when they're supposed to yield to pedestrians. Fortunately, I will yield. It ain't worth dying in this regard. So anyway, obviously, I wasn't recording episodes for a week or two. Fortunately, I had a couple of leftover episodes that I could drip out. But everything was an excuse. It's too windy. I'm too tired. My back hurts. There's too much traffic. I can't do it at the house. I recorded a class yesterday in the damn train. Usually the train goes by and the horn is just for a brief second, but every now and then the train will stop and just keep blowing its damn horn. So I'm at the end of this class. I'm literally teaching a class. The freaking train is just blowing its damn horn. I'm like, really? This is supposed to be evergreen content that I'm creating, and I've got the train going nuts in the background. Oh my God. And of course, it's just a reminder that I'm close to the ocean. I'm close to the ocean. I'm close to the ocean. Anyhow, morning. When I'm, outside of the creator space, but in the space of, creating offers, of recording classes, of sending emails to my people, to my influence army community, like all this stuff, building all that out. Man, I've gotten to a space that's really cool of like the distractions that I'm talking about, or the frustration things, or if I'm in like not the best headspace, I'm able to keep persevering and working, getting stuff done a day at a time, versus sometimes it can really throw you off. It can throw me off, right? So now, for example, I'm very much in the mode of, it's more than good enough. It's more than good enough. That headline is more than good enough. That subject line is more than good enough. That content is more than good enough. Where when I started this journey, 3 years ago, I committed to paying for coaching to build something. Because I was playing in the space a little bit for a year or two, but I was not committed to paying to learn. I wasn't in that phase yet. But year one was create my first summit. And oh my God, that was a Herculean battle. If you go back and listen to those episodes of a few years ago, when would that be? The 2021, I suppose, 22. Yeah, I got all of 22, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, it had been 2021. It was like April to August was the big summit push. Oh my God, I battled over a headline. That would be the thing. The headline isn't good enough. The headline isn't good enough. The headline isn't good enough. Finally, I was like, heck with it. The headline's good enough. And so I picked the headline and plowed forward with the summit. I might have changed it a couple times, but the one I went to market with, when I look at that headline and sub-headline, I was like, oh my God, that's what I went to market with? And I had success with that? How does that even happen? Anyway, I'm very much glad in this moment to be in the space of the obstacles and the distractions are no big deal, and they're just a fun challenge, and they're just added flavor to the mix. It's just a train going by for me to give you an opportunity to find patience and to appreciate a train, as a reminder that Mischa lives close to the ocean. Anyway, I think you get what I'm saying. I hope this adds value to your day. Do me a favor, if you haven't yet, give me a 5-star review. Go to the Apple Podcast. You might be on it right now. Scroll down to the review section. You can click on 5 stars. It's super easy. And then even if you wanted to, you could go a step further and write a quick little review. There's a description line, and then there's the actual review section. And the description line, just pick your 3 favorite words about me. First thing that comes to your head. And then in the actual review itself, just write down a sentence. It can be about anything. And then hit submit. If that's too much work, though, just hit the 5 stars. Okay? And then yeah, share it with somebody too. That would even be the next level step. But I would be totally more than happy, super grateful with a 5-star. Just click on that 5 stars. If you're in Spotify, click on the 5 stars. Spotify doesn't let you write a review, but go into your Spotify podcast app, click the 5 stars. It helped me so much. Helped me get momentum. Let me know you love me. It will let the podcast platforms know that Mischa's got an audience out there. We should promote him. All right, love to all. Have a good day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.